All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are located. Welcome to today's live Zoom session. We will be covering Navy COOL as well as we will touch on USMAP. These are both personal and professional levels of growth that any sailor can do. And I'm not going to take the thunder away because as you can see on the screen, we have a brilliant I don't want to say PowerPoint, but document that Pedal Marone is going to start us off with. So I'm Chief McCauley. I'll be your host, but we have a plethora of presenters today, and we're going to start off with Pedal Marone, and then we'll move forward to our next presenters. So Pedal Marone, you have the floor.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Chief McCauley. I'm HM1 Marone. I'm stationed at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center, and I've really taken advantage of Navy COOL in the past year, and I just want to start with the ladder. To me, Navy COOL pays for all the credentials that you'll find in your ladder. So I pulled up the ladder, which is on the Navy COOL website. This is the ladder for E4, and it starts on page 19, all the different credentials and certifications you can get. You'll see target pay grade on the left-hand side. You don't really need to pay attention too much to that. You can go for any certification that you feel you're qualified for. So what I did last year, with the help of some mentorship, was start looking at this and seeing what I wanted to go after. You can see there's a ton, over 100, maybe 200 different credentials that are corpsman related alone. And past that, you've also got leadership credentials, which are for E4 and above. So I do want to stress, as corpsman, whatever rate you are, look at your ladder. Look at the credentials that you're offered that Navy COOL will pay for, and get after it. To me, I'm on shore duty right now. I'm using TA, and sometimes we max out our TA, we use it all, and then we're asking what else can we go for education wise, and it's right in your ladder. All these credentials, certifications, they require exams that prove your expertise and give you these certifications that you can carry to the civilian sector when you do get out. At the same time, they're all very impressive to have to add to your brag sheet, your eval, sailor of the quarter, sailor of the year packages, map packages. These are credentials that the Navy literally endorses and pays for you to get. So it definitely pays to read your ladder and see what's available to you. So I do want to mention that it's important to look at the certifying agency for whatever credential you're interested in. Check out their website. You've got to do the research on your own, see what the prereqs are. And if you meet them, then you can fill out a voucher. Chief, do you want to show the voucher process? All right, I'll show it. So the way to find the voucher from the Navy COOL homepage, you want to go to the top right corner to the menu. And then in the credentialing steps, like I just mentioned, you find and select a related credential in your ladder. You want to complete the voucher and apply, number 2. So all the ones I've done that I can speak to have been voluntary credentials. So we'll click that. And here are all the requirements. They're the typical ones. You can't have been NJP'd within the past 6 months. At a minimum, you need 2 months or greater remaining on your enlistment from the time you take the exam. But they're all listed right here. And we get the form. Didn't pull up, but I pulled it up earlier. So here's the form. It's a 4-page form, very self-explanatory, very easy. You put your name, DOD, fill in all the applicable fields, pay grade, active duty, Part 2 is what credentialing you want. Another cool thing, Navy Cool, they'll pay for your certification exam as well as any maintenance fees. Because most credentials, some don't expire, but most do, and that's when it requires you to get continuing education units. Sorry, my dog's going nuts right now. Or professional development units. So most of the time, you're probably going to be asking for a certification or license exam title or fee or voucher. So here you would put whatever you're going for. If it was a Lean Six Sigma green belt, just type that in. Credentialing agency could be ASQ, city, state, overseas where you're taking the exam. A lot of exams, due to COVID, actually moved online, so you can take them. They can be web proctored. But if they are in person, just say, what state or city you plan on taking it. Date you intend to take the exam. Navy Cool, they've got a rule from the time you submit your voucher, you want to take your exam within 60 days. That's not concrete. Things happen. And this happened to me as well last year. The test center kept shutting down because of COVID from the time I had submitted my voucher. So it kept getting extended. And I took one exam about 90 days later. And that's a simple email to Navy Cool to explain the situation. And I've never had an issue with them. They're super supportive and understanding. Like I said, most of them have been voluntary credentials that I've gotten. They can be related to your current military occupation, any degrees you've got, any prior civilian job you've had, any training you've done, whether off-duty or command-sponsored. You can see the drop down there. Comments I typically don't need to put. I guess it depends on the credential if you really want to. For some credentials, Navy Cool, actually they'll ask for your login name and password for agency sites, so they can go in and pay it themselves instead of them giving you a voucher code for you to pay. Part 3 of the form is just the verifications. You're agreeing that you meet all the prereqs to be funded by Navy Cool. Part 4 is the acknowledgements, the typical. You're going to write your name and you're going to electronically sign. After that, that's your part. You've done your part for the voucher request form. You send to an E7 or above. Doesn't need to be your chief, your E7. I've had times when my chief was on leave or out of pocket, and I've sent it to another chief. Navy Cool is not looking at your chain of command wondering if it's the right chief or E7 you reached out to. So that's important. If it's time sensitive and you just want this voucher back, just talk to any E7 that's willing to, and they'll make sure you meet the prereqs and sign off for you. So command approver, like I said, it's on the form for voluntary credentials. It can be an E7, W1, or O1 or above. And they send it back to you, after they've signed it, and then you email it to Navy Cool, which their email is also on the form, navycool@navy.mil. And I've gotten about 6 or 7 certifications using Navy Cool, and they've always responded in the same day. It's wild how efficient they are. They're so on top of it. Maybe it's because they're underutilized, but they're very responsive and very quick in getting you what you asked for. In my experience, the two types of funding I've gotten, they've sent me promo codes that I can use when applying for these exams. And it can take an exam fee of $350. I put in that promo code, and then it drops down to $0. So it's like any other website you've used, it's like putting in a gift card code. It really just takes all the funding away from you, and it's paid. Like I said, the second example from earlier, they'll email you back and say, hey, I need your username and password for this site. We'll go in, we'll pay, and then they'll email you back once they funded the exam. And then it's your time to schedule it. Okay. So that's the voucher request. It's 4 pages. You fill out your part, your command approver fills out their part, and then you email to Navy COOL. And from there, they'll send you your voucher code or log in and fund their exam. I did write out, or I made a PowerPoint earlier last year. And I do have some talking points that I know Chief McCauley will share afterwards, just to cover a lot of what I've learned over the past year using Navy COOL that I think is important. So let me just look at my notes real quick. One cool thing that I love about Navy COOL is there's no limit to how much they'll fund you for. You could get all those certifications in the ladder, corpsman related, plus all the leadership credentials. And there's no yearly cap to it like we have with TA. They'll pay it all, and I mean it's wild. So in comparison, Army COOL, they have a $4,000 cap with paying or funding exams. So, and it's pulled from the same bucket of money as your TA if you're a soldier. So you go to, if you use $4,000 worth of TA in a year, you can't use Army COOL if you're a soldier. Navy, it's the opposite. You can use all your TA up and still get as many credentials as you want throughout the year. So just another huge perk in Navy COOL. So after you schedule your exam and you take it, you either pass or fail it. Regardless, you need to email Navy COOL back and let them know the results. All right. If you pass, congratulations, you've got a new certification. If you fail, you don't owe Navy COOL any money back. They won't fund a second attempt at the exam, but they'll say, hey, sorry, better luck next time. And that did happen to me last year. I failed an exam. That was $220. I was bummed. I failed for one, but two, I knew I was still going to get it. So you just got to pay out of pocket if you want to continue. As you get these new certifications, you want to get them added to your joint service transcript, your JST. That's another site. It's CAC enabled, so I can't show you right now, but it's a simple inquiry. And again, they're very responsive, and they'll get that added to your academic record in your JST, typically the same or next day. And another interesting thing I learned about COOL earlier this year was if we've got our ladder as corpsman, all typical corpsman related credentials, but some of these certifying agencies, they have more certification opportunities than what is in our ladder. And so one certification I was interested in isn't on our ladder. So I emailed Navy COOL. I asked them, hey, would you fund this? It's not in the corpsman ladder, but it's in another rates ladder. And they said, as long as I can show that I've done some training or completed an online training course, then they would fund it. So you're not pigeonholed to just your rates ladder using Navy COOL. So another very cool, very interesting part about Navy COOL and how awesome of a benefit it is. That's most of the big points I wanted to mention. I just want to open the floor up to anyone else before I get too long-winded.
Well, I will say that you definitely cover a lot of great information, and some things that kind of stuck with me that stood out was I too, as well as you, I failed the course through Navy COOL, and I think this was like probably when I was the HN. I think I was taking a electronic health records course or something like that, because I figured, hey, I use Alta every day. Why not become certified in electronic health records? Yeah, totally failed that test. Um, and I was bummed because I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to pay back money like TA or whatever. No, Navy Cool just said, well, you failed. That's it. And I just couldn't take that specific exam again, at least on the Navy's dime. So I think that that's a good point that you hit for people to understand that it's kind of like the benefits outweigh the risk when you do Navy Cool, because even if you fail, you're not paying anything back. The worst thing that can happen is, and I hate to say it like this, but you wasted the Navy's money. But other than that, if you fail, you go and take another course. But I will say this: definitely study for the exam. Make sure you're ready. Please just don't go and just take random things without studying for it. Because I seriously took that course simply off the strength of thinking that I knew about all of electronic health records because I was using Alta. And questions came up, and I was like, what? I can't answer that. So that's good information. And then another good point you brought up too was about making sure that you have a chief or above sign it, and it can be any chief. So yeah, if as a sailor, if your LCPO is not there, then definitely go and reach out to another chief or your Devo that's within your department and or division. And then some commands will have a command USMAP or Navy COOL coordinator. So I know like at our command now at INTAG Atlanta, our command career counselor, the YN1, is the one that signs everybody's Navy COOL. So we send it to him, he reviews it, and then he signs it and sends it back to us because he has bi-direction. So you also have that opportunity too if your command has that there. But other than that, yeah, that was great stuff. I'm not gonna take the floor. I'm gonna pass it on. Go ahead and pass it on over to. Well, before I pass it over to Pierre Reyes, Pierre Morone, question for you: what are some certifications that you have? What are some that you did that you could recommend that others do?
Okay. So I jumped right into the. I'm gonna go. My screen's still sharing. Yeah. I jumped right into the leader credentialing. Because I, E4 and above, I was like, all right, cool. Let's see what this is. It wasn't and these leader credentials are on all the rates ladders for E4 and above. So I actually started out with the certified Lean Six Sigma yellow belt, the agency being IASSC. And that was my first time using Cool. And I passed just barely. Again, I thought I knew. I hadn't studied as much as I should have, but I felt the pressure of a web proctored exam, which changes everything. There is no cheating, and I'm glad you brought that up. This isn't these credentials are serious. It's not the standard Navy-wide advancement exam where you're graded on a bell curve. You need to pass by their minimum requirements. So it's tough. Like you said, Chief, you don't want to waste the Navy's money. So make sure you're prepared. So it was the Lean Six Sigma yellow belt when I got first. And then I started looking into the Project Management Institute credentials, the CAPM, the Certified Associate in Project Management, which is their entry level to their PMP, which is their most known, I guess, most recognized certification. And I'll give a shout out to Senior Chief Snow, who's here. Me and him, we've been getting certifications kind of together, motivating each other all last year, telling each other our study resources, what we're using, and really, really helping each other out. So yeah, the PMI ones are awesome. Everything we do in the Navy is a project, just about. So the PMI stuff, it's a lot about communication. There's a lot of leadership points made in them that you got to learn and you're tested on. I also got the PMI Agile Certified Practitioner, which is kind of making its way as a more, highly recognized and valued certification. So like I said, I jumped on the Lean Six Sigma yellow belt first, and then I really dove into the PMI ones. As well as some, going back to the corpsman related ones. As a BMET, while we're in school, we get told about CompTIA, A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. which I got those throughout the year last year as well. And Security Plus, another very valuable certification in government jobs if you want to work in IT. And they're just good. They look good. I learned a lot. And for anyone interested in the CompTIA, PMI, Lean Six Sigma certifications, I've written up my study plan, the exact resources I use, my timeline, the money I spent. So you can hit me up offline or however you want to contact me on Facebook, and I'll be happy to share that with you.
Awesome, good stuff. I know for a fact I'll definitely be hitting you and saying you Snow about those project management institutes. Those because those I see, just like the resilience building leader, I see a lot of people doing the project management, and I see CNC Snow knocking out these courses left and right. I mean, I don't even think he can put any more certifications at the end of his title.
Always.
Oh my gosh. So, Chief McCoy, just to jump in real quick, those project management certifications, everybody across the board, right, from third class all the way up, we're all leading projects, we're all leading programs. So don't, like, for our junior sailors, don't think that you don't qualify for these certifications, right? They are extremely valuable, and they're very meaningful while we're in uniform, and especially meaningful when we get out of uniform. Yes, there is an application process. Yes, there are prerequisites in order to take these certifications, and they are very extensive. But myself and H1 Marone, we have templates, we have go-bys on how to submit their in-Word documents. You essentially just change your projects from our projects. And, you know, because you have to be specific with the verbiage and the wording, because PMI, not everybody gets to go take these exams. Like most certifications out there, from CompTIA to Lean Six Sigma, you could just put a voucher to Navy COOL. Hey, we approve. Here's your voucher. Go take the test. Project Management Institute, that's not how they work it there. They have to validate your application. You're essentially requesting them to take their exam, and they tell you yes or no. So we have a bunch of go-bys. If anybody needs it, like H1 said, hit us up offline. We have no problems with sharing anything that's been successful for us, you know, thus far. Over.
Amazing. Hey, you guys heard it first here. Make sure you reach out to Pierce Marone, Senior Chief Snow. I'm telling y'all, I'm doing it. Y'all better make sure you do it. You better get all these benefits while you can, while you're in. Please. Thank you so much for that information, Pierce Marone and Senior Chief Snow. We're going to go ahead and move next to Pit Officer Reyes. And Pit Officer Reyes, if you don't mind, share with us any experiences you've had with Navy COOL and maybe some certifications you got, and bless us with your presence.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Pit Officer Reyes. I've been using Navy COOL for probably like the last 4 years, just getting certifications here and there while I can. I am a neurology technician. So coming out of C school, they didn't really facilitate us to get that credential. So I went and got it on my own. So I went and got my registration to be an EEG technician because that's part of my job. And I just wanted to be able to prove to myself and the rest of my shipmates that I can do this. As well as also getting my resilience building leadership certification. So I went and I did that. There's been a couple of things, but I know to kind of like keep pushing forward on a couple of things, such as like, you know, your resources and studying. I just wanted to make it a point for people to, as you're going through the credentials and you find the one that may, you know, have your most interest, when you're going through it, take a look through all of the tabs that kind of follow under that. So when you look at the summary of what the credential is that you're looking for and what you're interested in getting, look at all of that information. Definitely go to the certifying agency's website and look at all of their requirements and the requisites and stuff like that. Depending on the type of certification that you're looking for, a lot of the times they have an exam. Look at the scope, you know, like kind of like the objectives that they want to make sure that you know. So that way, as you're choosing to study and you're making it a point to do that, you make sure that you know these things. So for example, like if you wanted to become a certified EKG technician, you're looking at the different types of excuse me, you're looking at the different types of ways to analyze and interpret EKGs, you know, determining regularities of rhythms and, you know, things like that, arrhythmias, all types of stuff. And then you look into other ways that you can get into exam preparation. A lot of the times these certifying agencies will also kind of include that study material with your exam. So once Navy COOL funds it, as long as you keep and maintain contact with the certifying agency and you reach out to them, they will give you out the resources or tell you where to get them. And if you're unable to get those, a lot of people forget that Google is your best friend. Look and Google any of those resources. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find something that will lead you to finding that either for free or finding you somewhere where you can get it at least for a pretty cheap price. Definitely make sure that, you know, you're eligible for the certifications that you're looking for, and if not, work towards it. Once you submit your voucher, or if you're planning, once you like look into getting a certification and you want to push your voucher, my recommendation for studying is to make sure you have at least between 80 to 90% of that information already known to you. So by the time you get your voucher completed, you don't have to kind of like last minute cram all of the information that you want to learn or that you need to know for this exam that you're going to be taking. Because then what's going to happen is you're going to cram, go to take this exam for the credential, and then leave it up in the air on deciding if you're going to receive it or not. So I would just carefully plan and think out how you're going to go about executing that. I think it's very important. In regards to like project management certifications, I know that Lean Six Sigma is also available. Like if you wanted to get like a white belt, you can go on Navy eLearning or JKO, and they have that available there for you to just kind of go through a nice quick hour training just to start off at the basic level, and then you could use that to move forward. Depending on the type of command you're at, if they have a department very specific to training and education, kind of look into the credentials that they may have there, because they may offer that as like a course or a class that you can take. And then, as we were speaking of earlier, getting involved with your surroundings, because a lot of the times we are doing a lot of projects. I know at my command, we were implementing 40X, which is the 4 Disciples of Execution. And that right there can be used as part of your, one of the requirements to obtain your green belt in Lean Six Sigma. And once you're working on a project, you utilize that information and you use that as kind of like your documentation and proof that you have been doing this type of work. So that way, when you get into Lean Six Sigma at the higher levels, going into your green belt and your black belt, you have your backup to prove that you've been doing project management. And then what else is there? I was going to say, talk about like when you're looking at the credentials, make sure that you have the Navy Bucks logo attached on that credential, because that's the only way it's going to be paid for, unless you're willing to utilize your GI Bill, which will give you the reimbursement after you take the exam. I would definitely look into the attainability of the credential, because some of these credentials are very hard. But if you know the information and you know that you have the experience to kind of get through it, then for sure, go ahead and push for it. I am very insistent on like the 2-month rule for the Navy COOL exams. Like a lot of these agencies, they'll give you like a longer deadline than what Navy do, which is the 60 days. Hence why I said, make sure you see prior to submitting your voucher and getting that 60-day countdown. So that way you're just right there ready to go. That's just my recommendation. Also to kind of going back to like, if your command has like a training and education department, looking into their credentials that they have. So like, if you like, Navy COOL has an EKG certification, but your command may offer that as well. And then there's other additional certifications they may offer directly based at your command that you can keep on getting. So it doesn't just end right here at Navy COOL. You just have to kind of like, kind of get your head out there and see what resources are directly around you. And this is just another one. I just wanted to put that out there. That's all I have.
Okay, I'm here. I'm struggling. I'm trying to I'm trying to manage different screens so I can pull up things, and then I couldn't find the mute button. And okay, hold on. Let me get back to my screen. Okay, so great points, Pastor Reyes, because you brought up about making sure like you find the emblem, the icon. I'm trying to come off my video now too. Oh Lord. There we go. Okay. So as Pastor Reyes mentioned, when you're on the Navy COOL website, make sure that your certification that you're looking at has this emblem right here. That means the Navy will pay for it. Now, I have known some people to use their GI Bill for certain certifications, but if you don't have to touch your GI Bill, then why touch it? Use the ones that have the Navy emblem right here with the money sign. That means that the Navy will pay for it. And these are just some of the certifications. So this is the Navy COOL website, and these are just some of the certifications that fall under HM. So, I know when I was a junior sailor, I used to just scroll through, kind of like what Paris Reyes did. I kind of just went out there and got it on my own and just found things. And, I think at the time I looked into certification of Homeland Security. They had like level 3, level 4, and level 5. And then I did like certification in disaster preparedness. And that was because at the time, my collateral duty was emergency preparedness at the hospital. So it tied into what I was doing at the hospital. And then I knocked out some other certifications. And then as well as, along with Pastor Reyes, I'm actually doing the Resilience Building Leadership Training course now. So, and it's amazing when you find out how much these certifications cost. I know that Resilience Building Leadership Training course, when I signed up for it, that course was like $3,000 or something like that. And I'm like, wow, like the Navy is really paying big bucks for you to get certifications. I mean, I can only imagine how much Senior Chief Snowden has probably piled up as far as funding goes with the Project Management Institute certifications, right? Senior Chief Snow, how if you had to do a rough estimate, how much you think the Navy has spent on you for those certifications?
So the project management certs are probably anywhere from $500 to $800 up to $1,000 a piece. So with that, and a couple of the other ones, the black belt, different certs in my NEC, several thousands of dollars easily. and I, if you don't mind, Chief McCauley, I would like to touch on something that Pettis Reyes mentioned, and then you brought up as well about the Navy bucks. So coincidentally, I just got off the phone with Mr. Winters yesterday. And for those who don't know him, he's one of the retired senior chiefs down there that approves or disapproves or helps us out with any Navy COOL voucher. So I'm going currently right now for another project management certification, and it's called the Risk Management Professional, right? Unfortunately, it does not have any Navy bucks associated with that. And my counterpartner, H1 Marone, pointed that out for me the other day because I didn't even see it. I didn't even notice that it didn't have the Navy bucks. So I sent the email yesterday morning. Mr. Winters calls my cell phone. He's like, hey, what's going on? I said, can you help me out or let me know if you guys will pay for this, even though it doesn't have the Navy bucks? He said, all right, well, let me break it down to you real quick. He goes, anything that you see on Navy COOL means that it was credentialed to an extent via their institute by Navy COOL, and A, we list Navy bucks and we'll pay for it completely, or B, there will be 0 Navy bucks, but we still credential it. What does that mean? That means that if you or I or anybody that's a sailor goes out and spends our own money taking the prerequisite course, and or if the command sends us to a prerequisite course and we could show the certificate of completion of that course, send that, along with your Navy Cool voucher to Navy Cool. They will review it and approve it. So it doesn't always have to have the Navy bucks. So to everybody's point, that risk management professional course, they are funding that for me to go and take it, and it does not have the Navy bucks attached to it.
Wow, great info. See, that's
Pretty
another
good.
that's another reason why we do these. Great info. Wow. Well, there you go. For everybody listening, again, you heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? You heard it here first. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you so much for that, Senior Chief Snow, and thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Chief Cool.
And thank you for your experiences, Pit Officer Reyes. We're going to go ahead and move forward to the next one, so that way we can keep the ball rolling. Let me get back to my Zoom list. See who we got over here. So we also have Pit Officer Nally. Now, the good thing about Pit Officer Nally is he's going to come from a different angle with us. He's going to speak on USMAP. So, Pit Officer Nally, you have the floor. Please share your experiences and educate us on USMAP.
Thanks, Chief. So I'm Petty Officer Nally, Agent Nally. I'm currently stationed at Intago, Ohio River Valley, in recruiting, if some of you guys don't know what that command is. I've used both USMAP and Navy COOL for probably about the past 5 years. I've been in the Navy for 7 years, so it kind of tells you how long I've known about this stuff. Two of the certifications that I did get through on Navy COOL, I just wanted to talk about real quick, were super easy. There was no exams needed. One, you only needed a letter of recommendation from your E7 or above. And that one was actually for the National Phlebotomy Association. Super easy. You get a letter from your, and this is for junior sailors, obviously for senior sailors, you guys can probably write it yourself. All you need to do is have your chief or above write a letter stating that you are practicing or working in an environment where you are drawing blood. Literally, that is all that they require. It's the National Phlebotomy Association. Navy COOL pays for it. You don't have to take an exam. And all you got to do is just each year, just redo a new voucher, and that's it. So it's only a year long, but each year you get a new voucher. You don't have to get another letter stating that you are still working in this working in that environment. I actually kind of slipped up because I came from working at a hospital to recruiting, and for like 2 years, I kind of slipped up about it and forgot about it. And even though I didn't work in a hospital for 2 years, I went back and did it, and they realized that I was still a corpsman and that I was still able to go and do it. So I just got another letter from my chief to be able to do it. And even though I'm not actually in a hospital, I do practice it at times. So they allow me, because I go to the NOS, they allowed me to do it again. Then the second one was the National Registry of Medical Assistants. This is a big one. And I apologize that I don't have a computer screen to show all this stuff.
Oh no, you're fine. That's why I have it up. I'm searching for it while you're mentioning it, so people possibly can see it.
So the first one, if you look under NPA, that's where it would pop up, Chief. And then the second one was the NRMA, the National Registry of Medical Assistants. This one's super easy as well. Really, all you have to do for this one is do some CEUs, or continuing education units. You do it through their website. That's it, Chief. You do it through their website. Each year, you do the CEUs. They're just kind of like some PowerPoints where you just look over some information. Most of this information is stuff that we've already learned in core school, and stuff that you do throughout your daily task. If you look at it, you do it, you pass the test. Once you pass the test, they give you the credential, and it's just something that it keeps you on your toes. Is one good for those who, us who still have to take advancement exams, because a lot of the information is kind of some stuff that we learn while being a corpsman. So it just continues to allow you to learn in that aspect, as well as, even though some people may be corpsmen that are not actually in like a patient care environment. And for this, it allows you to just be like, okay, I know I'm not currently doing it, but here's some, it's a refresher. But with that also, I highly advise you to try to see, if you are not in a patient care environment, to try to see if you can get some, just because it makes it easier when you do go to take these tests and everything like that. So that's just my personal experience on Navy COOL. I really want to touch on USMAPs because it's kind of been my pride and joy for the past 5 years. It seems like every command I go to, I'm like the first person to do it. And I've been in 3 different commands. So I really have gotten in touch with USMAPs. So right now I currently have 3 USMAP certifications. For those of you guys who don't know what USMAP is, it's the United States Military Apprenticeship Program. What it does is it allows you to log your hours as you work, doing whatever your job is, put it in the system to get a certification from the Department of Labor stating that you have done an apprenticeship, depending on the apprenticeship, the amount of hours that you have. So just a couple of them I have this one right here. This is one from, which one is this? My computer operator. This is what the certificate looks like once they send it to you. Then I have another one for counselor. I just finished up while being in recruiting. And then I have another one for medical assistant. I know for us, there's like 4 of them that we can do. It's the computer operator, medical assistant, medical nursing assistant. That one's more like on the actual hands-on patient care. So like if you're doing drawing bloods, doing procedures, that type of aspect, versus the medical assistant's more like the administration side. Cool part about this stuff is they never expire. So once you get them, they never expire. So I've had this one since May of 2018, my other one since December 2020, and then my other one from May of 2016. None of them expire. Cool part about it is, just like the certifications that you get through Navy COOL, these are things that you could put on your resume, or you could put on your eval while being in the Navy and once you get out of the Navy. It allows you to obviously look better when it comes to outside of the Navy. My recruiter, when I first joined, told me one thing: obviously get everything you possibly can out the Navy, because they're going to get that out of you, right? I know a lot of times we want to stay in as long as we possibly can. Sometimes some things just happen and it doesn't go our way. So when you're in the Navy, utilize everything that you possibly can, so that if the Navy was like, hey, listen, I know for me, if the Navy said, petty officer Nally, we do no longer need you today, right now. Even if it was a breach of my contract, I'd be like, hey, listen, you know what? It's okay. Why? Because I've gotten my degree while being in the Navy. I've gotten these USMAPs while being in the Navy, and I've gotten Navy COOL certifications while being in the Navy. So set yourself up for success and not for failure. The way that this USMAPs goes is every command, there's a USMAP coordinator. What I will advise you to do is go to your USMAP coordinator and ask them what their criteria is. I've been to 3 different commands and got one at each command, and the criteria has kind of been different for each command. First 2 commands, it was more or less, you just log in. I think I was logging in 8 hours a day for Monday through Friday. And then if I had duty, I would put in if I had 12-hour standing watch, I'll put in 12 hours. At this command that I'm currently at, it's a little bit different. And I originally started it one way and finished it another way. So I originally started it doing 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. As I got closer and closer to ending it, I want to say the last 6 months of it, it came out to where I didn't have to do 8 hours. I could do 12 hours, and I could do it for every single day. Because of the fact that in recruiting, we sometimes do work on the weekends. They allowed me to put it in for 12 hours a day, Sunday through Saturday, which kind of sped up the process. Now, the thing about this is you got to look at each certification, because each certification is different. Some are for 2,000 hours, some are for 4,000 hours. The 4,000 hours, which is like this counselor, it took me about almost 2 years to finish it, which is a long time. Whereas the 2,000 hour certification, like the medical secretary and the computer operator, it took me maybe 9 months to 10 months, something like that. So obviously check with your chain of command first off, to see if they can get in contact with the USMAP coordinator for your command, to see how you do it, and if they are able to help you out with that. The cool part about this is all you got to do is put, like, when you do it, you used to have to print out the monthly your monthly hours and everything like that. Now, all you have to do is just get a supervisor's email address, put it in there, and then each time you want to submit your monthly approval, it just goes straight to your supervisor. They approve each month. Obviously, whoever your USMAP coordinator is, you have to put them in there as well as the top approver, because once you get done with each month and you get enough hours, after a while, you have to submit in a semi-annual report. When you submit that semi-annual report, what happens is it gets shot up to the coordinator so that they can approve it. Now, here's the tough part, because they changed up USMAP, the way you do the hours, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not user friendly now. You have to calculate and make sure that you are constantly verifying your numbers, because what could possibly happen is it took me a little longer because I accidentally, for 2 of the sections, because the way it goes is you have a topic and then it's broken down in subtopics. So for computer operator is the main topic, and then it has 5 different sections that you have to add. I want to say it was like 400 hours for each section in. One is, being able to do certain administration on a computer, like using Word and Excel. Another part was kind of like, and you may not think you're doing this, but it's like maintenance. Well, if you restart your computer and if you're updating software on your computer, that's doing maintenance on your computer. And then there's other sections. So be careful when you're doing this and keep a log, because it doesn't calculate how many hours you put in a section until you do that semi-annual report. And if you haven't made sure that you calculated the exact amount, what may possibly happen is, for me, I had like an extra 250 hours in one section that I could have used in another section, and they don't go back. Once it gets approved, they cannot go in the system and take those hours away and then add it to the other section that you need it in. So it may take you a little longer. So it's a process that you have to make sure that you're very vigilant on and that you're organized on, because I kept a notebook with all the hours once I added them in to make sure that for this third one, I didn't do that. Because if you do, like I said, it just prolongs the process. USMAP, the itself, you don't need an approval to start. So you can go in there. All you got to do is pretty much create an account. And when you create the account, it gets shot down to Pensacola, where USMAP and Navy COOL is all at. And then they approve your account. Once they approve your account, it takes maybe 2 business days, if that. And once they do that, you can start logging in your hours. Now, the part about this is you want to do this as soon as you get to a new command, or as soon as possible, because you cannot backdate any type of hours. So let's say I've been at a command for 2 years and I just learned about it 6 months before I leave. Now, the problem is, yes, I got 6 months left, which they allow me to do, but they won't allow me to go back and backdate for the past year and a half that I've already been doing this job, which kind of, it sucks, but it's the process. Another thing, for some of these certifications, they will give you credit for, meaning that if there's a certification that's 4,000 hours, depending on how it goes, sometimes you may get 2,000 hours worth of credit towards it. So you're not doing the whole entire 4,000 hours. And it just is based depending on the certification itself. Is based depending on, your USMAP certifier and kind of what your NEC is when it comes to what specific NEC you have as a corpsman overall. I believe that's pretty much it on the USMAP program. I've had very, very much success with it. Like I said, they don't expire. It tells you the date that they're completed, and they're good for pretty much life. I've used this and Navy COOL as examples for my future sailors, while having them in a depth pool so that they know what they're getting themselves into. And now there may be some that you may think that are specific for corpsmen that you can only get. I know, like, this counselor wasn't specific for corpsmen when I first started. It was not. It was specific for me. It's specific for my NEC as a recruiter or as a canvasser. So it allowed me to do that. So there may be some specific for quad zeros, but if you have another NEC, there may be even more specific for that one that you may be able to get. So if you're lucky to have a NEC right now, unfortunately, I'm just a quad zero, to have a special NEC, you may be able to have the opportunity to do more. I know for me, I'm kind of like at my limit until I go BSL IDC, and hopefully I can have more there. But if you guys have any questions, comments on this process, the process of getting the NPA or the NRMA certifications through Navy COOL as well, feel free to reach out. I still have my packages from when I did the Navy COOL stuff, the way the letter's supposed to look like, the template for it as well. And if you need assistance with USMAP and how to navigate it, I can definitely show you. Like I said, I apologize, my kind of little hectic day. I wish I had my computer to show you guys. But that's all I have, Chief. I appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, I appreciate you. Definitely covered some great information there. And unfortunately, just like with you, I'm not able to get my USMAP to pull up because it is a CAC centric website. But I was able to pull up just general information from the web page. So if you all can see this, this is obviously under the hospital corpsman rating. And these are just a few of the USMAP certifications here. And you also brought up a good point too, that I'm glad you said about the fact that you don't have to only do hospital corpsman, like the fact that you said you did counselor. So when you're filling collateral duties, like if you're a command career counselor or if you're a recruiter or anything like that, you know, all those fall under the counselor realm. So that's another one you can do. So you can go through here and find, like right there, like if you're recruiting, counselor, professional, and kindred, there you go. Start working on it. So definitely go through here and find out, you know, if you're doing, like I know sometimes corpsmen can actually go do auxiliary security forces, right, at shore duty command. So you could function as kind of like an MA. All right. So then you could possibly look into one of these. I mean, I don't know if you can get working dog handler, but you know, just take a look at it and see what's out there.
The yeoman one as well.
Huh?
Sorry, the yeoman one.
Oh yeah. Yep. Because we definitely do yeoman work, don't we?
PS.
Yep.
So administration services.
Yep. Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you so much for that. So what I would like to speak on myself, since most of you guys covered the COOL and the USMAP, I like to tie this into, and any leader is going to appreciate this. I like to tie this into why. Why are we talking about Navy COOL and why are we talking about USMAP? And as you guys were talking, I went on NPC and I pulled up something that is very important to every E5 and above sailor. Personally, I think E4 and below should take a look at it too, but definitely E5 and above. So on the NPC website, under boards, and then you go to active duty enlisted, and you can go to CPO selection boards, right? There's the fiscal year's selection board information, right? This is last year's information. And one of the many documents that I personally am big on in regards to sailors' careers, especially E5 and above, is the convening order. Okay, Chief, well, why are you talking about the convening order? This is not a CPO selection Navy COOL, CPO selection live Zoom session today. This is Navy COOL and USMAP. Okay, you're right. But if you read the convening order, which by the way, this document is what the Chief of Naval Personnel is telling the board members what they should look for when they're selecting first class petty officers to the pay grade of E7 or Chief. I cringe every time you guys said E7. It's not your fault. But to the rank of Chief Petty Officer. So when you go through and you read this document, right, it talks about fully qualified sailors, which is, you know, you have all your qualifications, experience, and performance. It all clearly demonstrates that you can perform at the next higher pay grade, right? And then it talks about your best qualified sailors. This is where a lot of sailors, I think we could do better on being transparent and educating on, is when sailors don't promote or when they don't reach a certain achievement or goal, they think, well, I guess I wasn't good enough, or I don't know why I didn't get chosen. Well, sometimes it's not that you're not good enough. You're probably in this category of fully qualified. You probably have done a lot of things that you can think of. But the difference is the best qualified out of the fully qualified. What separates this person from that person? And okay, Chief, why are you still talking about CPO stuff? Well, because if you go down in the best qualified paragraphs, right, you come down here to number 2, institutional and technical expertise. If you read in there, I'm gonna go straight down here to the bottom, and it says department unit level certifications, inspection, readiness exams, and completion of required and recommended institutional and technical training curriculums, such as service or technical schools, United Services Military Apprenticeship Program, that's USMAP, professional licenses, credentials, and other certifications, Navy COOL. So for the ones that are out there saying, I'm not about to do Navy COOL or USMAP. Why am I going to do that? Or even for the ones that are saying, I'm just going to do it because maybe it'll help me on the outside and make more money. Good. But while you're wearing this uniform, do understand that these things help your professional career as well. These are looked at. If you are leading sailors, right? You're leading your peers. You're doing your collaterals. You're going to college, whatever the case might be. You got your qualifications, right? If you're fully qualified, if you want to be best qualified and stand out, this is something so simple that we're talking about today that you can do. Go do the Project Management Institute. Go do the Resilience Building Leadership courses. Go do the Counselor USMAP, Professional and Kindred. Go do those things. Because when I'm looking at you, I'm thinking, well, what separates Pitt House Sonali from Pitt House Marone? If Pitt House Sonali and Pitt House Marone are both killing it, right? Both killing it. Pitt House Reyes is killing it. Pitt House Rodriguez is killing it, right? Y'all are killing it. But what is the one thing that separates you? Pitt House Reyes went and got his Navy COOL. He went and got his Project Management Institute. He went and got his Resilience Building Leadership. Pitt House Reyes is demonstrating that he wants to go above and beyond to make himself better for his sailors and for the Navy. So this is just something that I wanted to tie into, because I want to make sure that sailors understand we're not telling you to do this just to do this. And we're not telling you to do this just because it looks good. There is a purpose behind it. And it is being reviewed even all the way up to the chief level, senior chief level and master chief level. All the way up. There are chiefs, senior chiefs, and master chiefs that are out here that are doing the Resilience Building Leadership training courses. There is the Senior Enlisted Academy that we go to. There is the PPME and SCJPME for you all to do. There's so many things to do to put yourself in this best qualified category. So if you're not doing that, then that's one of those things where at the end of the day, I like to tell my sailors, when you go home at the end of the day and look in the mirror, can you say that you gave it your all? If you can look in the mirror at yourself and say you gave it your all, then there should be nothing you can worry about. If you didn't get selected, or if you didn't get promoted, or for whatever, if you didn't achieve whatever goal that you were going for, but you did everything you could, wipe your hands clean and let's keep moving. Let's do it again. Let's keep grinding. But if you can look in the mirror and say, I probably could have did that. Like how I just heard Senior Chief Snow and Paris Marone both say they're doing Project Management Institute. I haven't done that. So they've already motivated me to say, well, man, let me go out there and do that, because they're right. Everything we do is project management. From shot X's, right? Flu shot X, right? Setting up PT, right? I mean, I could go on and on. We're all cornering. I'm not about to say and talking to death about things we do that are project management, but we do it. We do it every single day, right? So Lean Six Sigma, companies are paying buku money for people to figure out how to make their processes better. Look at Amazon, look at Apple, look at Google, look at these people that before the pandemic were probably doing good, but they're still doing good during the pandemic. How do you think that's so? They had to revamp their process. They had to pivot. They had to find new ways to innovate, to do things. While some companies are falling under the water. Why? Because they were stuck in that one mindset of this is how we operate. So it's people like them that they're looking for to say, hey, can you come in and look at our process and help us make our process better? And forget the Fortune 500 companies. Again, we could tie it right here into the Navy. We need that in the Navy. We need that in our departments, in your departments. How can we make our patient access better, right? You guys hear the complaints all the time. Oh, I've been waiting in medical for hours. Okay, well, how can we make their process smoother and faster without getting rid of the integrity of the patient process, right? How can we make our patient satisfaction surveys better? How can our customers, our patients, come into our hospitals and say we loved being there today? That's what this is. I know I kind of went off on a tangent right here. Excuse me for that, but I want sailors to fully understand that and I'm glad you guys did the talking, Pitt House Sonali, Pitt House Marone, Pitt House Reyes, because you guys are leading by example. It's your peers that are looking to you, and anybody else that's logged in too. It's your peers that are looking to you. You know, as a chief, I could preach all day, do this and do that. But sometimes it might come off as, well, chief just wants us to do this because he did it. No, no, no. When you see your peers doing it, then you know it's real. So thank you all for leading the way and, you know, doing these certifications and bettering yourself both personally and professionally. Before we get ready to shut down, I am going to go back around the room for any remarks. But I do see that there are some other people logged in. I do see a Pithouse Rodriguez. I see a shipmate Lindstrom, and I see a shipmate John D. I say shipmate because I don't see any pay grades next to your name. So just to keep it professional. Does anyone else that haven't spoke, does anybody else want to add anything or to the Navy COOL or USMAP information?
Hey, Chief, this is H.M. Rodriguez. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
So I actually was just going through the Corpsman Inspiration and Mentorship page when I saw this, and I logged in, honestly, for the refresher itself. So I know H1 Marone, kind of work with him at NMRTC Bethesda. Thank you, H1. That's awesome. That's why I'm here, for the refresher.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, thank you for logging in. I know it's a Saturday, and I know you guys could be doing plenty of things on your Saturday. So thank you for taking the time and energy to come out. With that being said, what we'll do is I'll go around the room for any save rounds. I know we like to use that term for any save rounds, and then we'll get ready to close this out and get up out of here. So we started with Pithouse Marone. We'll go back to Pithouse Marone. Any save rounds in regards to Navy COOL or USMAP or anything dealing with certifications in general?
Yes, Chief. Again, off of what you were saying, you know, why do we do this? Yes, it is for ourselves, but remember on CDB forms, we got this check in the box that we discussed USMAP and Navy COOL, just to name a few topics. By us doing this for ourselves and getting certified ourselves, it makes us experts about talking about it. And that's why we're all sitting here right now. We could talk about this stuff all day. So we're not just, it's not just regurgitating. You're not telling your sailors, hey, do this. Have you done it? Well, no. Like we've got the experience and we can talk about this stuff. So by getting this stuff for yourself, it better helps you lead sailors. We can explain this stuff better to sailors. So as we're helping ourselves out, it helps us help them out better.
I like this guy. H.M. Marone is a good guy. I like this guy. I like this guy.
He's pretty solid.
He is. I can tell. He's on
pretty
point
solid.
with me. He's on point with me. I like him. Walter Reed, man. Walter Reed got some hitters up there. I know CMC
Every level
is happy up there, man.
Every level.
All right. Good stuff. Pithouse Reyes, you got any save rounds?
No, I don't, Chief. Thank you just for allowing this conversation and facilitating all of this. It was very good.
Awesome. And thank you so much for your information. To come on here as a Pithouse of 30 class and get that information, man, you already leading the way. And like I tell people all the time, rank does not equal leadership. You can lead at any level. So thank you for doing that at your level. And please keep going. Keep doing that.
Thank you.
Pithouse Nally, do you have any save rounds?
I have one quick thing. Recruiting has allowed me to look at things a little bit different. I know it was just stated, you know, obviously if we're doing this, we can talk about it, it makes us the expert. But it kind of made me look at being a leader in the Navy a little bit different. So just something I want to give off to everybody. If you're doing this, know that at the end of the day, it makes you a better person. It makes you a better leader. Why? Because at the end of the day, the more rank you make, the more people you have to supervise and have to lead. And if you're not leading by example early, it's going to be really hard for you to be that great leader that you want to be in at the end of the day. So know that at the end of the day, like Chief, for instance, and Senior Chief, we're me, HM2, PO3, we're HM1, we're all their replacements. And if they're not giving us the platform and the opportunity to learn these things, it's going to be hard for us to replace them. They want to make sure that at the end of the day, when they retire and they come into the VA hospital or come into a hospital that's close to them, that we have the knowledge to be able to give them the proper medical care and then continue to make sure that the Navy is going to be good for them at the end of the day, because the Navy's going to keep going on. We got to take the uniform off at one day. You just want to make sure that you're going to lead your junior sailors in the right way and make sure that they have all the tools that they need to be successful. That's all I got, Chief.
Look, me and CNG Snow like, wow, he's got it.
Wow is right. Wow is right. That was beautiful.
I swear, man, like, dude, if the Navy could give me 1 hour just to talk to sailors that really want to listen, and CNC Snow's the same way, and we just like you just put in a nutshell what exactly how we feel, like what we think. Like this what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. All we want to do is impart some type of knowledge on you guys to where when we leave here, we leave it in a better place than when we came, and you guys are better off. And we can go to our homes and we can sit back and we say, man, look at Chief Nally now, or look at Master Chief Reyes now, or look at Lieutenant Marone now, man, look at that. Y'all do not understand the amount of happiness we get inside when we see you guys succeed, man. Boy, I'm trying to be professional right now.
You are.
I'm just saying, Pastor Nally, you hit the nail on the head with that. That's exactly what. Listen, you know, we could be doing on a Saturday. We could be asleep. We could be asleep on a Saturday. We could be doing whatever, but we're here. I'm not saying just me and CNG Snow. I'm talking about y'all too. Y'all are here. That's dedication. And that is leading by example. Y'all keep saying that phrase, leading by example. Yes, you cannot be a leader if you are not leading by example. Period. The point blank. There's no way around it. You cannot lead. Nobody will follow you if you do not show them the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine me saying, hey, go over there in that combat and go start doing combat stuff. And I'm saying that from a distance. Y'all gonna look at me like, who are you? Go where? No.
Do what?
Follow me. Follow me. 2nd Marine Division, shout out, follow me. I'm on the way. Let's get it. All right. So we're gonna go around to Senior Chief Snow. If you have any save rounds, brother.
Yeah, Chief McCauley, I just want to throw a couple opportunities out there for those that are interested. This is just, you know, years of navigation and trying to figure out different ways to build from a baseline certification all the way up. So MSI.com, Management Strategy Institute.com, they offer 2 national certifications for free. This is not Navy Cool voucher. This is just do it on your own time. It's the Lean Six Sigma White Belt certification and the Project Management Essentials Certified certification. Why is there value in that? Well, it's the baseline in project management. It's the baseline in Lean Six Sigma. And like H1 Marone mentioned earlier, you do an inquiry on your JSTs and you upload it, and now you have a national certification registered forever in your files, in your JST. Also, another website is called Udemy, UDEMY. You could go on Udemy. They have these sales every so often for $9.99, $12.99, $14.99. Every CompTIA, every project management, every Lean Six Sigma, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Word, finances, you name it. They have prep courses on there. There you go. Boom. There you go, brother. Appreciate it. They have courses on there that give you the required hours for these certifications. Like when I talked earlier about that one, I go on here and I bought the course for $9.99 and I do it at my own pace, and then I self-teach myself. But there's everything on there, you name it. Lastly, I want to leave this. I want to let you guys know about another site called Fed, capital F, lowercase ed, capital VTE. Fed VTE. What is Fed VTE? So it's for all active duty and or retired or prior military, and it's a website where we could go on for all of our IT and cybersecurity prep courses, CEUs that are approved by CompTIA, and it's all free. All you have to do is register, log in, and find a course that makes sense to you. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I know I said lastly, but one more was the number 6sigma.com. They offer a free yellow belt course and certification exam at completion of the course. So now you're 50% of the way there of completing all your Lean Six Sigma certifications. You only have your green and black belt left. And these are all free. You do it on the weekend, your own time, take an hour or two and you're done. Boom. That's all I got. Over.
Nice. Dropping knowledge and gems. I hope you guys took notes on that. And even if you didn't, or if you don't remember, you can definitely contact Seeing Chief Snow directly.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he'll definitely get you that information. So with that being said, let me say thank you again to everyone for taking time out of your Saturday to come here and share this information. It was long overdue to talk about Navy COOL and USMAP because you guys seen it in the group. We had so many junior sailors that were asking questions about Navy COOL. So what I try to do is I try to gauge the type of questions that we get in that group a lot. And then that's when I'll say, okay, well, maybe we should do a live Zoom session on that. So again, thank you for taking the time out of giving that information today. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get ready to close out. You all please stay safe, stay blessed. This is recorded, so once it's done loading, I will post it to the group. And then when I post it to the group, I'll tag you guys. You guys are more than welcome to add your email to there if anybody wants to contact you, or you're more than welcome to add any files to the group that you may have, any PowerPoints or any documents or just anything in regards to Navy COOL or USMAP at all. You are more than welcome to add that to the group so we can continue to give back to others. But with that being said, that's all I have. You all stay safe and have a blessed Saturday.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.